Could Mikel Arteta be facing the sack if he loses to Villarreal tonight, with Maurizio Sarri lined up as his potential replacement at the Emirates Stadium next season? We're going to jump into that story right now. We're going to preview tomorrow night's huge Europa League games. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Let's go, people. Reports coming from Italy today that Maurizio Sarri could return to the Premier League as the Arsenal manager. We know that Spurs have already begun negotiations with the former Juventus and Chelsea boss just after the announcement of Mourinho's sacking in April. He was lined up to potentially be the new manager of Roma until said Jose Mourinho was appointed in front of him. According to numerous sources in Italy, including Football Italia, Arsenal have also begun conversations with Maurizio Sarri as they prepare for life after Mikel Arteta, who is expected to lead the Emirates at the end of the season. That's the news this afternoon. What kind of pressure does that put? What kind of pressure does that put upon Mikel Arteta ahead of this huge mammoth tie? And that comes only a few days after the news from Tancredi Palmari, who spoke about almost the identical thing last week, that the board are not happy with Arteta, who would only be saved by victory in the Europa League. They were talking about the Roma manager at the time, Fonseca, being the potential replacement for Mikel Arteta. It now appears that it could be Maurizio Sarri. I want your views and your opinions on this. I truly do. What kind of added pressure is this going to put upon Arsenal tomorrow night? That's two reports, 2 weeks running, suggesting that the Arsenal board are losing patience with Mikel Arteta. What's your views? What's your opinions? We're going to get you on the air to have your say. At about 5:30, we have Jess, Egal, we have KJ, we have Harry, all coming on to preview tomorrow night's huge Europa League games. They're going to be with us right about now. But I want your views on this big breaking news as it stands right now. Josh says here, Sarri isn't that bad. He is one of Chelsea's greatest ever managers. Fair enough, Josh. Scenes when Arsenal are in the Champions League next season whilst Chelsea bottle top four and play in the Europa League. Josh is out here going for Chelsea this evening. I wonder why. Arteta here. This is an interesting one from Wesley that says Arteta, according to him, is the 5th best manager in the league. How many people are buying that? Legitimately, how many people are buying that? Who knows, thinks that Sarri would be a good fit. How many Gooners agree? Andrew here says Arsenal are taking Chelsea's hand-me-downs now. Well, they've done it with a few players. Maybe they're looking to do it with a manager as well. Sarri's first signing would be Jorginho. Yeah, it's not going to happen this time around. South London's Finest says, I would take Sarri. He seems like he would be a good fit for us. How many other Gooners agree with that? Maurizio Sarri, do you legitimately see him as a good fit for Arsenal? And does anybody really see Mikel Arteta going? There's talk of a big takeover. We know that Daniel Ek is going to be submitting a bid reportedly by the end of this week, maybe the early part of next week as well. But Maurizio Sarri to Arsenal. He is in talks with Tottenham. He was in talks with Roma. That job is now gone because Jose Mourinho has taken it. He's had conversations with Tottenham Hotspur, and according to reports out of Italy today, he is now in conversation. The rest of the article says Sarri is open to returning to the Premier League after a one-year spell in 2017-18, where he won the Europa League. He is still contracted with Juventus until June 2022. The Serie A giants could have terminated his £6 million a year deal in the end of April and pay a fee of £2.5 million, but they haven't used that option. In fairness, that's quite normal. Most football clubs don't pay managers off with lump sums. They just pay their wages. They keep them employed, but they move them on and they pay them their wages. And the only time that can sometimes be disrupted is if that manager finds a new job. So, of course, Juve would very much want, they've probably got a clause in there that if he takes a new job at a certain level or for a certain amount of money, they have to stop paying him. So this would be very good news for Juve if true. Let's do some more of your comments here. Sarri left Chelsea because he missed his family in Italy. He's not coming back. Well, he's talking to both Tottenham and Arsenal, and he's definitely talking to Tottenham. Those conversations have taken place. So let's see what happens in regards to that. And as Joshi here says, can Arsenal afford Sarri? I don't know. I mean, his salary is what? It's going to be between £6 and £8 million per year. I think that's fairly moderate for managing a club Arsenal size. I think that's fairly moderate in relation to that. Terry Tuchel wants Marquinhos is coming. I kind of get what you're saying there, Mo. I don't think you sense, unless it's my dyslexia coming in there. Is he coming? We don't know yet. Does Tuchel want him? Why not? It's sensational. But they are looking at a centre-back. Remember, they've been looking at Jules Koundé. He is someone heavy and high on the list. They've made massive inquiries for Raphael Varane. They're looking to bring in a world-class, long-term centre-back at Chelsea Football Club. I think that's quite obvious to all of us that was going to happen. That was going to be the case. Daniel here says, Josh calls me a deluded brummie when he's the most deluded. Oh, you guys are arguing with each other. I thought that was going to be a point there, Danny, me old mate. EE says, Sarri is good. I don't see Arteta leaving. Him and Arsenal are perfect for each other. I don't know. There's too much noise around this Arteta situation. Terry, I do believe Sancho will join United. Fabrizio in his podcast said everything is in place for Sancho. They just need to agree the price. Harrison, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Fabrizio. That's been the news now for a year. All Man United need to do is pay what Dortmund are asking for, and he's Man United's player. Sancho would love to play for Man United. He's happy with the offer that we would give him. He's happy with the salary, the bonuses, everything. It's just Man United and Dortmund coming to an agreement on the fee. And that the deal just hasn't changed. The deal from Man United's point of view hasn't changed in 12 months. It's just whether or not Man United are willing to pay that money. Terry, do you rate Sarri? His football is attractive. His football is pretty. Is he a winner? I don't know. You know, he took over. I mean, look, they've got even further backwards this year, Juve, but he didn't quite cut it at Chelsea. Although I think he won. Did he win the league with Juve, but they still wanted rid of him? You know, he took over the most powerful and the richest team, the best team in Italy, scraped the league, got sacked, or was relieved of his duties, whatever technicality you want to use. I think there's a lot of question marks that still hang over the head of Sarri. Do I think he's better than Mikel Arteta? Yes. Categorically, he is better. I don't even think that can be debated. I don't think that can be debated. I love some of these comments here. Please sack Arteta is what Mustafa says here. Sarri is a Tim Pot Guardiola. Yeah. It's about levels, ain't it? It's not. How do Arsenal fans feel about the link? Forget asking me for a moment. How do Arsenal fans feel about the link? That's what I'd like to know. How do you feel about the link? I want to hear from you now. I want to gauge what you're thinking and feeling. And remember, it was Tancredi Palmari, very, very credible journalist that last week said to us, and we read this out earlier, and we'll put it up again so you can all see. These were his words last week. These were his words last week where he said, and he stated, and I quote, Fonseca was also contacted by Napoli, but there was no further study. For the coach, however, now there is Arsenal. The board are not happy with Arteta, who would only be saved by victory in the Europa League, of which is curiously like Fonseca, also in a semi-final. Fonseca is one of the options left on the shortlist for both Roma's European campaign and his ability to manage difficult situations, as well as the experience accumulated at Shakhtar in the Champions League. The semi-finals could be decisive in every sense. That was produced a week ago. Arsenal could be on their way out this evening. We know that for sure. And if he is on the way out, the reports today are telling us that Maurizio Sarri is being lined up as the potential replacement. I do want to hear from you on that. I want your thoughts. I want your feelings. We're going to be having Egal. We're having Jess, Harry, KJ all on a little bit later in the show in about 10, 20 minutes time to preview this week, this very interesting Thursday night. We're going to touch on Man United a little bit, primarily Arsenal, because their game is well and truly in the balance, a 2-1 deficit, but a very important away goal. We're going to go through that and preview it. We're going to talk about this Sarri news as well. So we want to hear from you. We will open up the lines for you to have your say before they come on as well, because we want to, as I say, we always want to gauge what our viewers are thinking, what our viewers are feeling. Make sure that like buttons are being hit, though, right about now. Let's get this stream past that. Let's get it past 250 likes before the half-hour mark. We can get that done. Almost 1,000 of you tuning in right now. Hang on a minute. What does that say, though? Mo says, how can a manager's future be reliant on one result? Arteta is done. I think I understand your point of view. Should it go down to one result? The answer is no. But I think that's just how it is. That's how some football clubs operate. It's you've got 4 or 5 games to turn around the situation. If it might not be one game in the way that the article has been produced or framed, it could be fail to qualify for the Champions League and you get sacked. So going out in this semi-final means he's failing. I think that's what you have to understand, as opposed to it being this one particular game would be the reason that he moves on, in my view. I'd rather have Villarreal than Arsenal in the final, is what Mr. Joshi says. Terry, haven't heard your crazy laugh in a while. Well, people have got to say something to make me laugh, because I know there is an opinion out there that my laugh is fake. But yeah, I can't just do it on demand. I'm not a barking seal. It needs to it needs to be like triggered from me, if that makes sense. Let's do some more of these comments here. Wow. Maybe an unpopular, this is Charlie, says, maybe an unpopular opinion, but I would like to see Arteta in the Arsenal job next season, even if not in Europe. We are a club that needs to build, and that requires continuity, is what Charlie thinks and feels. And you know what, Charlie? I understand completely and utterly why you would say that. I totally get it. I don't think for a second it's the wrong notion or the wrong way to think about these things. I just don't know. I legitimately just don't know if that's, how do I say this? Doable would be the word I use. So I'm just sharing the link here with the panel before I share it with you all. Where is my guy? There's KJ. KJ probably doesn't need the link, but I'm sending it out anyway. We're going to share the link with you all on the Discord server. I'm going to put it into the Arsenal chat, and I'm going to put in phone in now. I want you guys to phone in via that if you can. So if you want to come on and have your say before the panel arrives, we've got sort of a 15-minute window to get that done. But yeah, I understand why you'd have that opinion. I just don't know if Arsenal share it with you. This is really interesting. I love these comments. Right. Wow. Terry loves the sound of his own voice. He's a big Lee Hotspur fan, ain't you, Terry? I mean, yeah. I mean, in terms of me liking the sound of my own voice, Wouldn't it be weird if I had my own YouTube channel that I didn't speak on? That's the trigger. Think about it. Terry is such an arrogant sod. Oh, why is Terry arrogant? Because Terry gives opinions and talks on his own channel. I actually saw someone about a month ago dig into me. You know what they said, right? I was really put off by he said, I like most football like content creators, but Terry's channel really put me off. And they said, oh, why? He went, because he had a picture of himself in the banner. And I'm like, half the YouTubers name their channels after their own name. Yeah, I'm arrogant because I have my picture on my banner. Honestly, you know, like sometimes you die with laughter because you think, at least tell the truth, bruv. At least tell the truth. If you're out here saying these kind of things, it made me die. Like, imagine that. So imagine that one. Terry, you are arrogant because you talk on your own channel. And Terry, you're arrogant because on your own channel, you have a picture of yourself. Do you know what I mean? Oh my God. Look at all that. Look at the narcissism on people's Facebook. Like, what's wrong? They're posting pictures of them and their family on their Facebook. You know, Man United are so arrogant. All they ever post about on their Twitter account is Man United. Isn't that a shocker? Isn't it a shocker? Love this game. Loves up. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Let's go to some of your calls before we get to panel one. First up, Abs is here with us. Abs, sorry to Arsenal. Arteta out if he loses tonight. Give me your thoughts, Abs.
Okay, first and foremost, everyone who goes and chats shit about Terry, you can keep talking behind your keyboard. He's maxing and relaxing like Will Smith in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, so just leave it at people. But on a serious note, you see Maurizio Sarri, right? He's so heavily disrespected. I don't even know why. I mean, I know why he's disrespected, but it's almost like I don't get why he deserves it. I mean, in his first season with us, he got into the top four, which was the main objective, right? He goes to the Europa League final, which he won, where he pammed Arsenal, you know, an Eden Hazard masterclass, condemning them to another year of Emmerdale Cup football. Shout out Mark Goldbridge for that. What else is there? And he goes to a League Cup final where we, you know, unfortunately lost to Man City. So I think if you give it a year, give him some players, because Sarri's not a guy he's not really big on transfers. If you remember when Pulisic got signed, he was like, I didn't know. I just recommended a bunch of players and we ended up signing him. So I think he's a perfect fit for Arsenal and a perfect fit for the Conkeys as well. Don't complain too much. Just basically said, listen, I need one thing to do my job, and that's Jorginho or someone like Jorginho. And then from there, you know, we can start working and trying to make things happen. And wait, sorry, go on.
So would you say he's an upgrade on Mikel Arteta for Arsenal?
Is he an upgrade, Terry? Oh, no, he's more than just an upgrade on the flipping tapas Mick McCarthy. He is Sarri. There's certain things I want to say about Sarri in terms of how the disparity between him and Arteta, but I can't say that, you know, for certain reasons and shit. But either way, you see with Maurizio Sarri, he would revolutionize Arsenal, in my opinion. Because in his first season, everyone said, he can't set up a defense. Only conceded 59 goals that season, which is the third least, you know, compared to the two best teams in the country at the time, Man City and Liverpool. Not to mention, his win percentage was 64%. So please tell me that, yeah, fair enough, it doesn't look visually appeasing, but right now, Arsenal, it doesn't matter about visually appeasing and stuff. You need results because you're in the mud. You're ninth. You want to get back into the top four. You want to win the Europa League. The guy did it with us in the first season. Would you not take that? But apparently that was a crap season. So this whole thing about double standards, Terry, he would do bits for Arsenal, and I'd be sad to see him go there. I was a massive Sarri, you know, when he was at Chelsea.
There we go. Abs has had his say, top man. Thank you for coming on, mate, and telling us what you think and feel there. Sorry to Arsenal. Would that be a good move? CJ Legend says, if Arteta gets sacked, this will be funny, as Chelsea and Arsenal tried what we did with Ollie and have failed. Ollie is better. Facts. Shots fired there. Was this? Hang on. Terry's football knowledge, huge like his forehead. That's a good one. See, that's the kind of insult I like, because it's It's double layered. Do you know what I mean? It's oxymoronic. It's like an yeah, it is. It's it's an insult and a praise in the same thing at the same time. I love it. It's great. Well done. Next caller, Gooner Express. Gooner Express is with us. Arteta to be sacked if he loses tonight. Sarri in. What's your thoughts on that story?
Well, I hope there's some truth to it because I don't rate Arteta at all. One of the last super chats about Ollie being better. Yeah, he is. And I can say that as an Arsenal fan openly. But I just don't see there being much truth to it. Obviously, we heard that he was going to go to Roma, and then we found out that he was never even an option. So I feel like the Italian newspapers are just trying to throw his name around, obviously like they do sometimes. But again, I hope there is truth to it because Sarri is a good manager. He did a lot of good work with Chelsea, and I think he could easily take us at least back into the top 6, at least, possibly even get top 4.
Yeah, I hear that. In terms of, it's 2 weeks running that these stories have crept up. It's interesting that a lot of the kind of Arsenal press have suppressed it, but some fairly credible media outlets outside of the UK have said the board are not happy with Mikel Arteta. They don't think he's doing a good enough job. Non-Champions League qualification could see him lose it. Do you feel there's any truth in that at all? Or do you think whatever happens, do you believe that the Arsenal board will stick with Mikel Arteta for another year?
Well, his contractual objectives were to finish top 4. That it wasn't to get Champions League, it was actually to finish top 4 and do well in Europe. So obviously he hasn't actually done that. Now Champions League, no one would care. You know, you've got Champions League football, but first off, I don't think we're going to win the Europa League anyway. I have no confidence in doing that. And in terms of him getting sacked before the Super League stuff, I do not like. There was no way he was getting sacked until sometime next season. But now that the Cronkies are under massive pressure, that the fans are getting obviously really angry, and the likes of Daniel Ek are putting in bids to try and obviously buy the club, I could see them do it to try and get the fans back on side. But I have no idea. I mean, these owners are so unpredictable, just like the club as a whole. And obviously, we never make the right decisions. So I would not be surprised if he stays until next season.
There we go. Listen, Gooner Express in the house. We'll speak to you probably tomorrow night after the game as well. Look after yourself, bro. Thank you for your call. Really appreciate you on the terrace, mate. Top man. Matthew here says Terry looks like a younger Stephen Graham. Do you know what? I wish I was as good an actor as Stephen Graham. Like Stephen Graham's a serious actor. Looking like him. Sorry, bro. It's the weight, isn't it? It's the extra weight I put on. I'm not very photogenic. I'm feeling vulnerable now, and I'm only messing. It's all good. It's all good. We'll do a couple more calls, and KJ's backstage, Egal's backstage, getting ready. Tom Little's back. Last night when Tom left the show, there was hashtag free Tom. Free Tom. Because he was, more no Poch. I love Poch. Oh, get off Poch. Do you know what I mean? Let's see if Tom's able to talk to us because he's taken Poch's penis out of his mouth. Tom, how you doing, mate?
I don't even like Poch. That's the thing. I don't even like him.
Bruv, you were serenading him last night. Don't like him. Serenading the man.
I just had to protect him. I thought he was harshly done by. But I don't think Arteta should go. I think it'd be stupid of Arsenal to get rid of Arteta now. They were stupid to bring him in the first place. But now they've backed themselves into a corner where they'd be even more stupid to get rid of him now. Because you've wasted so much money on him then. You've wasted so much money on his type of players. You know, on Partey, on who else? Gabriel. You know, there's no guarantee that Sarri will work with these players. Arsenal, as a club right now, aren't in a position like Chelsea where they can just chop and change players to fit different systems. Arsenal can't do that. Arsenal have to try and build a squad that can work under one manager. And the best way they can do that is by sticking with Arteta at the minute. Because they've backed themselves into a corner by appointing him.
Listen, I understand where you're coming from, and this is what it goes down to. Cut your losses and upgrade the manager, or stand by your decision and build some continuity. It feels like it's now or never, or whatever. Not just now or never. That's the wrong way of putting it. It's a big decision for Arsenal. Win, lose, or draw tonight. It's a big decision because if they keep him and next year is a carbon copy season, there is going to be carnage, especially if Daniel Ek doesn't take over. We will see the greatest ever. I've had enough Robbies that we have ever seen in our. Forget that. We are going to see Egal. Egal's going to get so stressed his head's going to grow back, bruv. Like, it's going to be a madness next year. Harry, you know what I mean? Harry's going to be losing it. Jess is here. We've got Kesh, Adam. Like, you're going to see how people lose it next year. Like, I think like Kesh is a great example. He's been quite cool, calm, and collected about Arsenal this season. Not if they have a repeat, but it'll be an interesting one to see if that sort of what comes to fruition with that. It really, really will. In terms of Arsenal's chances tomorrow night, what do you give them?
They've got, you know what? Arsenal have a better team than Villarreal. Does Emery get one over on Arteta? And I think he could well do. I'll probably go either 2-0 Arsenal or 1-0 Villarreal. That's the only way I could see it going.
So take the splinters out your backside. What's going to happen?
I'm going to back Arsenal. I'll back Arsenal. I want to see United Arsenal in the final. I'll go 2-0 Arsenal.
There we go. Listen, Tom, we'll keep you backstage. We'll get you back on with the panel later, mate, and we'll speak to you in a bit. Who we got next on here? Who are we going to go to next while we're waiting for the panel to arrive? Liam is with us. Liam, welcome back to the Terrace. Who do you support, Liam?
I support Liverpool.
You're a Liverpool fan. What's your thoughts on this news that Arteta could be leaving Arsenal at the end of the season and maybe being replaced by Sarri?
I hope in that contract there's a thing about cigarettes because Sarri's going to need a lot. But no, I'm only joking. I actually think Sarri would be a pretty good replacement for Arteta. Arteta's not done a bad job, you know. He steadied the ship. He's not done everything right. But, yeah, you know, I quite like Sarri. I wouldn't want him at Liverpool, though. Never. No. I'm happy with Klopp.
Yeah, I mean, why would you? I mean, imagine if you said, as a Liverpool fan, that you would swap Klopp for Sarri. I wouldn't even believe you. I think you're an Everton fan phoning up and trolling because that would be one of the most unbelievable things that I've ever heard in my life. But so I hear you on that, bro. Liam, thanks for phoning in, mate, and having your say. Top man. Thank you very much indeed. We're getting the panel on very soon. DJ Harry's backstage as well. We're going to go to Mohammed before we do that. Mohammed, welcome back. Your thoughts on this news this afternoon, please, buddy?
I think for Arsenal, it'll be an upgrade on Arteta considering where they are. I think they'll play much better. I reckon they would be if they had him now. I reckon they would be 7th, 8th at the moment. It would make a difference, but not that much of a difference.
So they're going to sack a manager, spend £8-9 million bringing Sarri in, and they're just going to come 7th.
Yeah, it's just because of the current state of the squad at the moment. That's why. Because Sarri's good, but he's not like world-class level manager.
Mate, I hear you. I hear you. I don't think it matters what Arsenal fans do. They've got to remain calm going into next season. No matter what they do, remain calm, stay as relaxed as you can. It's true. Listen, bro, thank you for coming on, having your say, Mohammed. Really appreciate that, buddy. Thank you much indeed. We're just waiting. Jess is now backstage. We're almost ready to go. When I see young Harry turn his camera on, there he is. Everyone's ready to go. We're going to bring the panel on now to have their say. We're going to preview Arsenal Villarreal. We're going to have a little bit of a touch and a little bit of a preview of Man United Roma. We're going to talk about this news that Mikel Arteta could be sacked at the end of the season, and Sarri's being spoken to right now by the Arsenal board, according to reports. This isn't my news. I'm not saying I'm the source. Hit that like and that share button. Let's do this, people. Afternoon. How are we all?
Good. I'm good.
I know. A quick question for KJ. How nice does it feel to be in a major European second leg semi-final tomorrow and not care?
That's like the miracle of Rome didn't happen, bruv. I'm still focused, fam. You know what I'm saying? We still got a job to do, bro. None of this, oh, we're going through business. If our players go onto that pitch with that attitude, I would not be happy. Them man need to go out there, score 2 goals, then I will chill. But until now, job to do, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I hear that. And Man United have taken a strong squad with them, so they are looking to win the game and get business done. Arsenal's going to be the main focus of our preview tonight because, of course, their game is the game is big tomorrow night. There's so much riding on it. Plus the news that's broke today from Italy that Sarri's being spoken to. It's twice in the space of 6 days that Arteta has been linked with a move away. The board are not happy. They're talking to other managers. I'd love to gauge the Gooner opinion on that first of all. I want to go to Egal on that news that's come out again today from Football Italia, amongst other publications, that Sarri's being negotiated with, or spoken to, I should say, rather than negotiated with, spoken to, and Arteta's job is in the balance. What's your thoughts, mate?
Okay, I'm just going to start by saying Sarri was also linked to the Roma job, and Roma recently came out and said that they never actually spoke to him. So I'm just going to start by saying, can we really trust the report? Can we really say, you know what, take it with a grain of salt? We don't know who originally leaked this information out to the news reporters over there in Italy. And I'm not sure if those guys are known for breaking stories that are or in the know with Arsenal stuff. So I don't think they got this story from Arsenal's side of things. I think they probably got this from Sarri's representatives. And these are what people do when they're lining themselves up for jobs. They get their ear out to the right people so their voice can be heard. And you know what? We heard this with Jose when Arteta was getting hired, that Jose was in line for possibly getting the Arsenal job. That was never true. And I wouldn't be surprised if this was all fake.
How about yourself, Jess? Do you agree with that? Do you think this is just fake news being created to help Sarri, or maybe to destabilize? Well, I don't really see the notion in trying to destabilize Arsenal from an Italian outlet's point of view, but what's your thoughts on it? It's 2 weeks running. These similar stories have come out.
Yeah, I mean, I think Egal's right that we can't really trust the sources because this happens all the time. You know, as soon as Arteta's not doing well, some Italian managers linked with the job. Allegri was linked with it in December, I think. So for me, it's kind of like, well, I'm not really buying into it, but at the same time, it's like, if the board is talking to Sarri, this is the exact thing that I think we've all said, is that we don't even trust the board to get the right guy. Like, do you really think Sarri is the person to come in? So whether it's real or not, you know, that's one thing, but Sarri being linked to the Arsenal job, to me, is just tragic.
Jess, just sorry to interrupt. We've got a bit of a problem with your Wi-Fi. I'm not too sure what's going on. Yeah, it's sort of, your voice sounds very robotic. The connection's down.
I'll drop out and come back in.
Cool, no worries. Right, see you in a second. No problem. Yeah, I hear you on that. How about yourself, Harry? I know I texted you earlier, giving you a bit of stick about it, saying read this and whatnot. But do you see there being any truth in? Forget Sarri for a moment. Do you think there's any truth in, if Arteta goes out tonight or doesn't make Champions League, that he could lose his job?
Yeah, I think there is some truth in that, but I don't think it will happen. Unless, like you mentioned before, our current owners want to get the fans back on side. And if they think sacking Arteta and getting an upgrade is the way to do that, they'll do that. Or if the takeover does happen and Omri and Bergkamp and Vieira are part of this group, they might encourage the new owner to get a more experienced manager, and then it might happen then. But either way, I think we're clutching now. I think Arteta's job is safe. If we lose tomorrow night, and if we finish 10th, should his job be safe is another question, is another debate. But I do think his job is safe.
How about yourself, KJ? I mean, it's a few people are laughing, saying, why would Sarri make a rumor about joining Arsenal? It doesn't even make kind of any sense. But on the Arteta side of things, do you think his job's under threat at all?
Well, in terms of Sarri, man wants a job, innit? So he's just doing anything he can to get a job if it's true that it's false news, this whole Sarri link. But in terms of Arteta, his job should be under threat. His job should be under threat. He's came in, he finished 8th last year, got FA Cup, cool, that buys you some time. But this year you're supposed to kick on and you're below your own standard that you set. So as a football club, you have to look at that and be like, is there room for this guy to continue on? I've already said it. they shouldn't have Arteta as their manager right now. They need to start again and go with a manager with a bit more experience who's known for building clubs. That's the most important thing. Sacking Arteta for Sarri, for me, is nonsensical anyway, because Sarri is not the club builder that you probably would have won an Arsenal Football Club. You need someone a bit more experienced in doing that. I don't think Sarri is that kind of guy. But Arteta, in my opinion, should not be the one building this club back to where it needs to be, just for the fact that he's not experienced enough to do that. Again, I'll reiterate. Let him go somewhere, build his experience, and then if the club stable themselves, go back in for him, bring him back to see what he could do this time with a better structure and a better team with him. I feel like what's happened to him is not his fault. It is unfair what the owners have put him underneath, but he's decided to take it. And for me, he hasn't fulfilled up to the hype and the hope that Arsenal fans had for him when he came in.
Yet.
Yeah, he might do it tonight. Viewers, sorry, go on, KJ.
No, I was going to say anything.
I was going to touch on something, Terry.
Is it on this subject?
Yes.
That's the weather.
No, well, make your point. Go on, mate. Go on, quickly.
People saying, Sarri, you know what? Sarri might be a realistic target, but at the end of the day, we need to stop criticizing the manager and jumping on his throat. We have a big game on Thursday, and you know what? We should be back in the team, back in the manager, and not feeding into the media's distractions from our main objective, which is to win on Thursday.
There we go. Egal has spoken on that, and I do hear you. I think it's a fair point, but it's hard not to be distracted by it when I just can't imagine a club Arsenal size with the owners you've got that are money hungry are going to keep a manager in position that's got you nowhere near Champions League. It doesn't actually match what Arsenal fans call their owners. If that makes it doesn't suit. Like with Man United, the only thing that gets you sacked is not making the Champions League. You could, as long as you're in the Champions League, they don't care how bad the football is. They don't care about your antics, your behaviors. It's purely that. And we keep hearing that your owners are the same. So I want to understand how coming, say, 9th and no Champions League, and maybe no European football, why would they keep him? I don't know. Maybe, and if there is this grand plan to get you back to the top and Arteta's building it, then why are the issues with the club? Because you've got a grand plan that's not about just qualifying for the Champions League this one time and not progressing in the medium to long term. So it's either you've got bad owners that only care about making money. If they only care about making money, failing to qualify for the Champions League is the biggest money spinner they've got. So that's the only reason I ask. I just want to understand, really.
Yeah.
But viewers, sorry, go on, Tom.
I just think Arsenal needs to be cautious of getting stuck on this manager carousel of having a manager in for 2 years. They don't achieve enough with a relatively poor squad and then sacking them and getting someone else in. Because you had a lot of success being stable under Wenger. And I'm not trying to say you're going to get a manager like Wenger again, but I think Arsenal will thrive off sticking by one man rather than having these coming in off.
That's true. I was to say that would be true, Tom. That is true. So that is true. But you also got to remember the quality of manager that you stick with. If you're sticking with a manager who can only get you to 7th place or 6th place, all that stability means nothing in the grand scheme of where Arsenal want to be. It's nice to say, to have, we've got stability, but where's that stability taking you?
Yeah,
there's a lot of question marks over his overall ability.
I think aside from that, you don't trust your owners anyway. They're not building for the future. They're here to take money off of you. So what stability are you building if these owners are trash? If they're building stability in a future, why are you protesting? Those two things to me can't coexist at the same time.
Can I say something?
Sorry, Jess, you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so all I was going to say is just like the only reason why we'd sack Arteta at this point is because they're trying to get back on side with the fans. That's it. It's really just all about trying to get back in with the fans and make them feel better. You know, their PR, all they do is just comb through everything that the Arsenal fans are saying and then try to pretend like they're going to do right by us. So a lot of fans are Arteta out. So to look like a serious club again, they think it's probably link us to a manager that has some clout or whatever. That's all it really is, because just a week ago, he was as safe as ever. So what's the difference? If he before, like a week ago, if he won or lost, it didn't matter. So what's changed? The only thing that's changed is the European Super League, and now you're in crap with the fans. So if they do sack Arteta, it's for that reason and that reason alone, is because they're trying to placate the fans. That's it.
Are most fans Arteta out in the Arsenal fan base, would you say, or is it 50-50? Because like United fan base is 50-50 split of Ollie in, Ollie out. But with Arteta, I don't know what the percentage is. I
I'd
thought
say
it
the
was
loud
50-50.
majority on social media, the loudest majority are the ones that are Arteta out. But there's a large portion of the fan base that are not really picking a side. They're staying in the middle. They're saying, you know what, I'm backing the team. So if that means that the manager that's in the job is the manager that I'm backing, I'm not going to pick a side. They're just going to stay in the middle, and they're not really picking a side. So I would say the middle portion is as big as the Arteta out portion.
So there's hardly any Arteta in. Is that what you're
No.
saying?
There's still people
there
who back
is.
the team no matter what.
No, yeah, I think many people who are Arteta in aren't even Arteta in. They're just supporting the club and supporting the man who's in charge.
Pretty much.
But when you're in something, you don't feel the need to tweet I'm in, because you don't really protest for what you want. You protest for change. So all you read is Arteta out. But I think on social media it feels majority Arteta out. But even when it was really poisonous under Wenger, even in the Emirates, there was still a massive amount of people who were Wenger in. But obviously the negativity is so much louder. But just to quickly back up what Jess was saying, and to go back to the owners, the truth is, in the past 18 months, the owners have improved things in terms of signing the right players. And we speak about Gabriel and Thomas Partey. And under Arteta and Edu, there has been a little bit more focus on doing the right things. Unfortunately, that hasn't translated into good performances in the league. But right now, the relationship between Arsenal fans and KSC is a toxic, boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. And that the Super League thing was the final nail in the coffin for any Arsenal fan to say, right, we are done with you guys. It could have been anything. It could have been the Super League. It could have been changing the badge. It could have been painting the seats a different shade of red. All the Arsenal fans needed was one more thing to say: we hate Kroenkes and we're going to protest. And obviously, with Sky Sports and Gary Neville, everyone went crazy. But
I totally get that. The super chat from Mohammed here that says Emery masterclass. And Alberto Moreno with a brace coming up. And that's a nice little segue to talk some football. We're going to talk some football. It is a big, big night, regardless of whether or not you believe these rumours or not. Biggest night of the season for Arsenal Football Club. Biggest night of the young fledgling career of Mikel Arteta. And there's a lot of outlets today that are kind of pushing this notion that Arteta needs to make bold changes ahead of this game. They're speaking about how flat Arsenal were in the last game, how difficult it was for Arsenal in the last game. What changes do need to happen, though? So I want to go to Jess first on this. In terms of personnel, who you pick, what needs to change, in your opinion, to get yourselves ready, on point, and firing in this game?
Well, one of the changes is enforced, not playing Ceballos. That's one of the biggest ones. So he's not available, so we don't have to worry about him. And play a striker, period. That's pretty much I wouldn't say that's the reason why we didn't, take care of Emery in the first leg, but that was a huge mistake. So now that Aubameyang is obviously going to play, that's the bold change. That's the only change that I really think needs to be made. Regardless, whoever you put in that back line, our defense is not amazing. So for me, it's not that, because I envision us having majority of the ball. So you just have to play El Neni and play Thomas next to him. That's what I envision happening, and play Aubameyang and be offensive and be aggressive. For me, it's also not about changes in the lineup, but just changes in the mentality. You can tell the mentality was on the floor in the first leg. So they have to be aggressive. They have to push through. If they get scored on first, they have to continue to play. And those are things that don't really have much to do with the lineup. It's just about playing and being engaged, So for me, play a striker. Ceballos isn't going to be in there. And whatever backline you put out there is going to be vulnerable. So, whether it's Cedric or Xhaka in the left back's position, let's be real, neither of those are perfect. Whether it's Bellerin or Chambers, none of those are perfect. So does that really matter? Not really. Just play Aubameyang and hope he shows up. Hope the team shows up.
That was going to be one of my questions for Egal. Great words there, as always, Jess. Egal, do you start Granit Xhaka in midfield or as left back? What would you make? What would be your decision?
Okay, so for me, it's pretty straightforward. If Kieran Tierney's fit, Kieran Tierney starts at left back. If Kieran Tierney's not fit, Granit Xhaka is going to start at left back, because he's the only person who's a natural left-footed player who would play in that position, and Arteta wants a natural left-footed player playing in that position. I hear the shouts to play Saka there and even to play what's his name, Cedric there, but I don't think he's going to move Saka that far deep into the defense. We need Saka higher up the pitch. What I would do to balance things out is play Granit Xhaka if Kieran Tierney's not fit, and put Saka in front of him to give us more of a threat down that left-hand side, right? And on the right-hand side, I would balance things out by playing either Pepe or some. Obviously, just Pepe. I don't want to play anyone else, actually. What am I talking about? Just play Pepe. So that's what I would do. And in the hole, I would have Smith Rowe instead of Odegaard, because I feel like Odegaard was a passenger the last game and he didn't show us his best of his abilities. So that's my front three. And my left-back position would be Granit Xhaka in that situation.
I hear you on that one. How about yourself, Harry? I've seen quite a few journalist lineups leave Saka out. Would that be a mistake in your? I don't quite get their rationale. They haven't actually explained it in their articles, and I thought maybe I'm missing something as a non-Arsenal fan. I'm not picking up on something or a story or an injury or a bad bit of form. Why am I seeing so many Arsenal journalists talk about Saka not playing?
You sure they're not saying Xhaka?
No. Listen, I've gone through. It's like when I say journalist, I'm talking about they've done articles on who should play, etc. I haven't seen Saka's name in about 3 starting lineups today.
Maybe because he's a dirty player now, according to who is that? Football London. He's now a dirty player. Maybe it has something to do with that.
Or listen, the Son, born the Son fandom.
He's a fly tipper now.
That story triggered me. Do you know why? Because I was like, I'm doing renovations, right? And my front garden looks like a building site as well. But no one's annoyed by it because you're making the area better. If you make your house better, everyone's house price goes. It's just a stupid story. And yeah, but don't buy the Sun. Never buy the Sun. Never listen to it. Don't actually work for them either. If everybody failed to work for them and no one bought it, they'd stop making these stories. But anyway, we digress. Ari, Saka, should he be starting in this game?
Yeah, he's practically the first name on the team sheet. So, yeah, 100% he starts. I think, like Egal mentioned, there's a question mark over left back, and then there's a question mark over left midfield, whether it's Pepe, whether it's ML Smith Rowe. But just to go back to what Jess said, for me, it's not personnel. It's about personality tomorrow night. And we need to start the game with intensity and start the game ready. The goals we conceded against Villarreal had nothing really to do with not playing a striker. It's just because we defend so timidly. Like, we try to defend so calm and we don't sense danger. So we need to get that out of our game tomorrow night and approach it with 100% focus and intensity. Let's not forget, in 2006, when we made the Champions League final, in the semi-final, we played Flamini left back, Abue right back, Philip Senderos centre back next to Kolo Touré. So it's not always about the personnel. It's about having the right players with the right attitude. So we need to be on our case tomorrow for Arteta, for the fans, and to try and save this miserable season.
I hear you. I hear you. How about yourself, KJ? You're looking at this from an outsider looking in. How do Arsenal need to approach this game? Do they need to be aggressive? Do they actually need to be maybe a bit more conservative in the opening period of time? Make sure they don't concede an early goal. How do you think Arsenal should approach it?
I think if they're aggressive, that's the worst thing they could do. We already know about Arsenal's struggles at home this season and how their home record is not that great. I feel like they need to just be patient. There's no rush. They only need to win 1-0 to go through. So it's not like they need to get 2-3 goals to have a chance. Like, they just need 1 goal. So if they just take their time, be patient, and legit be clinical when that chance comes up, they'll have a better chance. I feel like if they go rush and try and score a goal early on, they'll be susceptible to the counter-attack. And then if Villarreal get 1 goal, that puts Arsenal in a very, very scary predicament of needing to score more and then open up even more and therefore getting countered more. So I feel like if they literally just look to control the ball, take their time and be measured, I think that'll give them better chances of going through.
That would make sense for any other team except
we need
us.
2 goals, KJ.
I think 1-0 1-0 isn't safe. 1-0 isn't safe for us. Playing sensible and tactical isn't the right approach for us. I think even when we beat was it Benfica away or whatever game it was? I know we struggled at home to someone. No, Olympiacos. You know, we had the tie in the bag, but we still managed to struggle at home. So I think we only know one way of playing. My fear is that if we take our time with it, we're just too defensively vulnerable. So we need to go and get those get those goals as soon as we can. Obviously, I'm speaking like we can comfortably score 2-3 goals at home. Who knows? It might end up being a really slow, horrible game anyway.
If Emery gets his tactics right, he could stifle you guys and again like pull out a masterclass. So and again, it's not like our Villarreal are a terrible team. You guys are around the same level. If not, you guys are just a bit better than them. So there is all that chance as well that they could probably get 1 or 2 against you as well if they play the cards right.
We're gonna miss David Luiz though. Once again, it's gonna be a big blow, massive blow, because we've seen how integral he was to our build-up play and even to our opening goal in the last game that we played in the league versus Newcastle. I don't know if he was 100% fit even going into the game against Newcastle, but I guess you have to give him some game time before this crucial game to test him out. And you know what? Now that we're gonna be without him, who's gonna play those ball splitting passes from the back? I don't think Gabriel will be able to do that. I don't think Rob Holding will be able to do that. And if Granit Xhaka is playing the left back position, we're going to be weak in the midfield also. So that means Elneny is going to be playing. So this game, we're giving the advantage to Villarreal based on the players that we have out. But we're not actually looking at their team. They're going to have Kapui out. They're going to have a guy in Juan Foyth who's having the game of his life against us last game. They have 2 guys who don't usually score goals, who scored goals against us, with a guy who hasn't scored a goal in 47 games. And then Arsenal comes and he scores his first goal in 47 games. And then the defender, their defender scores a goal too. So it wasn't an Emery masterclass the first game. They got 2 good goals from luck. And you know what? We are a team who always creates luck for our opponents.
It was an Arteta disaster class, to be honest.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was luck. I don't think they were lucky. Like their set piece wasn't luck.
No, the opening goal was luck. He just striked it. It
definitely wasn't luck.
Apparently, if you just strike the ball towards goal and it goes in, it's just
they just wanted it more than us in them first 20 minutes. Like that's really, they were awake and we were asleep. And Arteta came with some of the worst tactics in formation that I've ever seen, and then Emery the crap out of that second half and let us back in. So.
Why is Terry laughing?
That is because
he's gonna clip that or something.
Yeah, he's clipping that.
No, but let's be real. We're rewriting history if we say it was an Emery masterclass. Emery actually got an opening goal in a couple minutes. You know what? Everyone wants an opening goal in that type. Then they got another goal off a set piece. You know what? We messed up. We played 2 big, tall center backs to try to stop set pieces, and it didn't work, right? And then when I say it was luck, let's be real. The ball bounced into his range. It was just like Elneny, how he got lucky with the opening goal.
It was fortunate in that sense, but you're making it sound like they were terrible, like they shouldn't have got 2 goals. Fam, they were pamming you, man, at one point. Gerard Moreno should have made it 3-0 or 3-1 or whatever that point.
Leno saved
us. Leno had a good save, but I think it was a poor shot from Moreno. He had the whole goal to shoot at. Man shoots at the goalkeeper. So to say luck, come on, bro.
There's no doubt we were absolute shizer last Thursday, absolute shizer. But in the same respect, it's only 2-1. It's a decent result in an away leg. So if we just turn it on tomorrow night, then it all will be forgotten.
Yeah, look, I'm laughing because I was actually like before the geezer struck the ball very well. He through a crowd of players. It was a very good strike. The next time an Arsenal player scores a goal, Egal, I don't want you to see you celebrate. I want you to see you say, do you know what? He just hit it. It was luck. You were outclassed for large parts of the game, but you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. And when I say that, if Villarreal lined up their most expensive, not in terms of purchase price, but valuation, their most expensive starting 11 would total 178 million pounds. So they're not a club that's been made up out of 32 quid or something like that. But you suddenly compare that, and I haven't looked at yours yet. If I look at the most valuable starting lineup that you can put out there based on market valuation, yours is just under 400 million. So if Unai Emery gets his team, that's valuation is over half, more than half the valuation of yours. If he gets them to outperform you for the majority of the game, outscore you, and they win, that's a masterclass. Like, you got to remember your front 4, your most expensive front 4 of Aubameyang, Odegaard's within your squad, Pepe and Saka in terms of valuation, not purchase price. So Pepe's in there at 34 million. That's valuation, not purchase price. That's almost as valuable as the whole Villarreal squad. You shouldn't be getting beat by them twice in 2 legs. You just shouldn't be.
I agree, but also they have Unai Emery as their manager, so he's going to overthink things. He's going to have a situation where if the game is tight and it's 0-0 going into like 70 minutes, he's going to try to shut up shop, and we're going to end up scoring a goal, winning 1-0 or something. And if he goes into the game, he could be going into the game with 2 mindsets. Where we know our job and our objective is strictly to just come out and win the game. Where for them, they could be stuck in between 2 minds, where they could try to see if they could try to shut it out and be a 0-0 at the end, or if they could try to win the game. Either way, Unai Emery, as a manager, he's going to overthink the situation.
Egal, you are right. Like, you have a legitimate chance tomorrow night. I don't think anybody would be foolish enough to deny that.
No, we're not out of it yet.
No, you're not. And that away goal was so critical and crucial because it gives you that opportunity.
It's kind of like you wait. It's kind of like you wait for wanted Arsenal in the final. You're going to talk about corruption and tinfoil hats. Yeah, I'm just going to. I'm just pulling it out. I'm just pulling it out there.
I disagree. I think the worst thing for UEFA is all English finals in both competitions. For they have always had a distaste in their mouth for English teams. I don't quite know why. It just always felt that way to me. But it'll be an interesting one. Tom, by the way, why does your camera look black and white?
I was thinking that.
I don't want my lights on. I just thought
he's actually from the 1960s, and this is actually what it looks like.
That's what it is there. We've got a super chat here. It says, who is a better stat padder, Bruno or Werner? Bruno, 21 goal involvements and playing the Champions League. That's a random one for tonight's stream, but I ain't gonna pick Bruno. Bruno isn't a stat padder, he's clutch. Just saying that. This is from Malik, who says fasting is clouding Egal's eyesight. There we go. But you do seem confident again. That's the next point I wanted to go on to. You seem really confident you can get this job done tomorrow night, Egal.
Listen, in life, you have to go into things believing it's going to happen. If it doesn't happen at that point, then you're going to be let down. But if you already believe it's not going to happen, why go into the game with no hope at all? I'm going to go into every game expecting my team to win, expecting my team to do a good result, and expecting my team to come out with the victory. And that's how my mindset is with every game most of the time.
I hear that. Tom, you're an outsider looking at this. Should Arsenal fans feel confident right now like Egal does?
Yeah, because you've got the players to do it. It's just whether we all know how experienced Emery is in the Europa League. He's the master of winning it. He knows how to get through to finals. He knows how to deal with these situations. But like you were saying, then Arsenal have the better squad. Arsenal have these players who have their individual moments. And with the scoreline as is, that could be all that you need to get through, because you could get away with having a poor team performance tomorrow and having Saka produce one of his moments and putting on a plate for Aubameyang, because all you need to do is get 1 goal. That's it. I back Arsenal to keep a clean sheet tomorrow if they play Mari, because I think that's who you need to play. As his replacement for David Luiz, you play him. He's a left footer. I don't know. Arteta has this weird agenda against him for some reason. Gabriel and Mari. But he's your best ball playing defender in my eyes. If you play him, he's not as good as David Luiz, but he makes up for it. And he's a good defender. That could be enough to see a clean sheet through, because we don't know what mindset Villarreal are going with. And it's individual brilliance that is needed tomorrow from this Arsenal team.
Well, I thought that was banned in football. I thought you're not allowed to have that. I thought you're not allowed to rely on it because it's bad and it's all about systems. But hey,
stop acting like a victim. Come on.
No, I'm not doing no victim here, bro. I'm just saying, isn't it? How ironic that someone other than Man United need individual brilliance. I mean, I thought everyone else scores system goals. That's all I'm saying.
You know what I took out from that conversation? The bigger thing I took out from that is, as Arsenal fans, we don't know what back line is going to play tomorrow. We're hoping we can predict the right back line, but we don't know who's going to play in left back. We don't know who's going to play in the right center back role. We don't know who's going to play in the left center back role. We don't know anything.
We don't know who's going to play in the goal. That's, to me, more important than anything. You know, who's going to be in that goal? I wouldn't be surprised to see Ryan. I wouldn't.
Do you know what? I agree, Jess. I think it's bigger than that. Barring Saka, Like, I don't think you can
Partey.
100%. Like, and Partey probably. Yeah, Partey. Aubameyang to start.
He did the press conference. He will start.
Okay, so he'll start. There's only 2-3 players where you look at it and go, nailed on in that position. They're playing there. It's like Xhaka's going to play, whether it's left back or midfield, but you don't know where. That is why I wouldn't be confident. If it was Man United and we're in your position in the second leg, and I have no idea who's starting in what position, who is in our back line, who's going to be in goal, that would make me really nervous.
All I know is if Ryan starts, Leno is out the door in the summer. That's all I know. You cannot start Ryan.
You need Leno to go in the summer.
These Leno stories that were surfacing last week, I wonder if that was just, timing of them being released because everyone's talking about who's going to play. But yeah, I said the other week on a show with Jess that Leno looks uncertain. He doesn't look focused. It seems like he's not sure where his career is going. But in the same respect, he had a really good game in the first leg. So I don't want to be too harsh on Leno. I would go with Leno tomorrow just to be loyal and a bit of consistency.
I would love a Leno disaster class tomorrow. Yes.
Why don't you just focus on you? Why are you so focused over here?
We're talking about the team. I'm focused on United. If we talk about Man United right now, you get to hear my opinions on the game. So,
Terry, can we talk about Man United now?
We are moving on to Manchester United, and I'm going to go to KJ straight away on this because it suits his agenda and his beliefs and everything else. So tomorrow night, Man United in a very good position. Ollie has the chance to play some of the youngsters against Roma. Your guy Ahmad is lined up for a potential start. Do you think that should happen, and will it happen?
No.
But he won't.
He won't. One, he won't start, and two, I don't think he should start. It's a semi-final of the Europa League. Scoreline, yes, is all wonderful right now, cool, but we don't need to put anything on him right now. Let us go out there, secure the game even further, put a double, triple chastity belt on the thing. You know what I'm saying? And then when you're ready, go out there and do your thing. I'm not. People think I just want youth to play no matter what. It doesn't matter what the circumstance. Play all the youth. But no, I'm a bit more strategic than that. I wanted them to be nurtured properly. So go out there, put a good team out there, secure a good. I want a 2-0 lead, hopefully by 60 minutes, 65 minutes, and then give him his time there where there's no pressure. All he has to do is express himself, be free, and do whatever he wants to do. If they get 1 goal, 2 goals, and he's there from the start, that puts pressure on him to do something. I know it's like, oh, we got so many goals, but again, this is football. We're acting like we've never seen Roma do a comeback against Barcelona.
I do get that.
Focus.
No, I do get that, but there's 5 substitutions. If we're 3-0 down at half time, and I'm not saying play all the youth. I think we should pick a fairly strong team, but I think give a player like Ahmad an opportunity on that right-hand side, but surrounded by experience. I actually would start Cavani in this game. So just some breaking news that's come out. Manchester United Liverpool will now be played on Thursday, the 13th of May at 8:15. And that weekend game against Leicester had been moved, I think, from the Saturday to the Tuesday. Been moved to the Tuesday on the 11th. So they moved the game earlier and a game out. That makes sense. They ain't playing 2 games running. I'll read that again in a minute. So I just sent it through. Why? If you're going to tell me when the games have been ordered, put them in chronological order and not mixed match, because that is confusing as fuck.
I like how they're just getting the full fans ready for Thursdays next year by giving us one this year.
Hey, there we go. How about yourself? Again, I want to ask you this question. Should Man United rest players, or do you agree with KJ? You play a really strong team, you get a couple of goals, you put it to bed, then make the changes. What would you want to happen if it was Arsenal in that position?
What you need to do is you don't rest all your experienced players, because you need some experienced players to get to kind of guide the youngsters and mature and give them a little bit of maturity in the team. So you mix and match. So you give Rashford a rest, you give the likes of Bruno possibly a rest, you play Van de Beek, but then what you do is you still have some of your defenders and your back line. Maybe play Dean Henderson because he's been starting most of the games, but then you have a Luke Shaw.
David De Gea is our new cup goalkeeper, by the way.
Okay, so David De Gea will
Yeah.
play. That's experience right there. Then you'll have Maguire probably will play. You don't rest your back. I wouldn't rest your best backline players, but where you can rest players, your midfield and your attacking options, because at the end of the day, you don't need too many of those guys to still get more goals in this game. This tie is pretty much done. You're not going to. If you concede 5 goals, is more important. Is more of a problem than scoring 4 or 5. So that's where I would rest some of your starters that are attackers, but play majority of your first team defenders.
How about yourself, Jess? Where do you stand on that debate? Rest. I mean, interesting. I just read the actual tweet from Simon Stone. So Man United will play, which is interesting. So they will play Villa on the Saturday, followed they'll play Villa on the Saturday, and then they will play this Sunday. And then on Tuesday they will play Leicester. On Thursday they play Liverpool. So that's 3 games in 5 days. We have to play.
No way.
3 and then we play again on Tuesday the 18th. So there's no game this coming Saturday for Man United, but we literally play tonight, Sunday, and then we play again on the Tuesday, then the Thursday. So we've actually got 4 games in 7 days.
That's a bit mad.
Knowing that news now, Jess, you've got to play some youth tonight and rotate, right? Otherwise, players are going to get injured.
Yeah. I mean, just you need a professional performance, and that doesn't necessarily mean you need your best players out there. You know, Roma will try for a couple minutes, and then once it gets to halftime and it's still, 0-0, they'll just give up. They're not going to really play. I don't think they're going to come out and do anything. So I would play some of your kids. I don't really know who they are. Ahmad is the only one that I really know of, but just put them out there. Juan Mata, is he still there? Put him out there. I don't think, I would rotate. Like, I would not play like Pogba or Bruno or anybody that's really important to your team. And so I don't really think you guys have much to be worried about, so
except for have them on the bench, right? Just in case.
It's not about being worried.
Yeah, you have to have them on the bench, but you don't need to start them at all.
Yeah, no, it's not about being worried for me. It's just about being professional, being secure, and putting out a statement. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to look like all we're doing is, oh yeah, we've got it in the bag and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like, no, I want us to be like, yo, we're winning this trophy, we're pamming you, man, and going back home. You know what I mean?
I don't think Solskjaer would even do that. I don't even think I think he will put out probably a stronger lineup than you guys want, or some people may want, because Ole Gunnar doesn't really strike me as the guy that's going to like overly rotate. I think he'll have that in his mind. He's I don't see him as that kind of guy. Like, let me put kids out there. But if Ahmad maybe got a start or something, or I think that would be cool. I know you guys want to see
a long way for the fan base.
KJ, who are you resting besides Rashford?
Besides Rashford, I'm resting Pogba, Luke Shaw, Matic will get a game, so one of the McTominay or Fred. And also I'll probably start Greenwood on the right or in central, and may potentially play Dan James on the left hand side. So,
but you're changing the whole team basically. So you
but he's still a strong team.
I think it depends who you bring in. Right?
Terry was asking me about youth.
Who is your youth?
I was asking you about Ahmad.
Yeah, Mad. He's asking me about Mad. Like, my question was about.
If you bring in experienced players, I think it's okay. But sometimes too much rotation psychologically, like that, encourages complacency, doesn't it? The players think, oh yeah, we've got this, and next thing you know, you're 1-2-0 down, and then the whole narrative changes. So you got
if they just
be really careful.
The back line should stay pretty much the same. The back line.
But 1 second, but what else have you got that's important this season? Like, you've got top 4 secured, right? Pretty much.
That's what I was thinking too.
We need one win and a draw or something like that officially.
Yeah, so you got nothing else to play for. So I personally would go pretty strong, as long as there's no players on the red zone, just so just so nothing weird happens and you win.
Yeah,
and then that's it.
Dan James has got an injury, so there's probably a high chance that Ahmad might get his start because of Dan James not being able to play and it's rotating. And again, I would not be upset with that. You know what I mean? I'll be very happy with that. But I'm just being a bit more cautious with Ahmad, just for the fact that it's his first season. He played hardly any games when he's in Italy for the first half of the year, and then he comes in. But I don't know how well he knows English. I don't know how well he's accommodates to the team and the squad. I'm expecting him to be featured more in important games next season. This season,
he'll be fine.
AJ, a sensible
think this is a
approach.
situation
Sensible
where
approach.
Rotation's going to have to happen at some point. It's some more breaking, some news that's come out today. It says here the Premier League will confirm that home fans will return for the last 2 rounds of matches this season. Do you know what? They're always going to end up doing that. Like, I think, look, last night that at City, I think I've seen video footage of loads of Chelsea fans lining the streets in West London. No one's listening to any rules anymore. Like, it's just becoming a free for all.
So no one's going back to OT then? All right, cool. All right, we'd love to see that. No one go back to OT. Wonderful.
Yeah, I've turned down tickets to the Brighton game. What
do I mean? I mean, we're allowed back to Old Trafford, but I don't want people to go back to Old Trafford. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna go.
Oh, are we doing this again? We're doing this again.
They're gonna go.
People not to go to games.
110%. Yeah, but Man United, look, I think, as you say, there needs to be that rotation. Donny van der Beek, a great opportunity for him to get minutes and to stretch his legs. In fact, he could probably play all 4 of those games in the next 7 days and still feel fresh, because that like he ain't played all year. So like, just give him all 4 games, right, and get off your back. I'll go with him. But I do get where you're coming from, KJ. Just win the game. Well, I think once you get to 50, 60 minutes, there'll be that you'll completely relaxed, no problem. I just want to be able to watch Arsenal's game intently and consume it, and hopefully by the end of the night be able to inject every last ounce of it into my veins and sit here and just see this man's face just like that.
Listen.
This is rude. This is so rude.
I'm hoping for a bad evening for you guys, fam. Like, listen, I need the injected. I don't want no all English Man United, Arsenal, Europa League final. I don't want it. I thought
football fans were meant to be coming together. I thought we was all meant to be coming together in United. Why are you wishing?
Against the pagans, bro. Against the pagans.
Again, Harry, on that, no. No. I will support you in getting rid of your owners, but I am not supporting you in winning football matches. It's never. I remember being in a row in a debate once where someone was like, "Oh, you should support all English teams in Europe." I honestly, if I was in charge of giving out, if you had to have a card, like a license to be a fan of a football club, I'd revoke your fan license. If I ever saw a Man United fan support another team in Europe, unless there was a vested interest. So I would want Chelsea to beat City in the Champions League final because it's like the rivalry thing. If I saw a Man United fan just randomly cheering for Chelsea tonight, I'd revoke their fan membership. They'd be done. You're not a fan. You're done. Dead out here. Done.
Who would you rather play in the final? I'm assuming Villarreal.
Yes.
No, I've yeah, that's a great point.
I mean, as bad as we are, I think you guys would want to play us because we're so bad, you know.
Just stop playing the victim now. Stop playing
If it's a Man United Arsenal final, I'd back us. I'd back us to win.
Yeah.
Oh God.
We have
imagine the football tennis for a United Arsenal final. Imagine the call-ins.
Well, I look at it that way. But for me, it's like I feel like Villarreal would be a safer bet for Man United. Still a tough game, could still lose to them, but a safer bet. But I want Arsenal. I'm willing to double or quits it. I'm willing for like more pain to come my way, like higher risk, higher reward. But if we win, we get to be the team that just destroy your season.
Condemns you, man, to nothing.
Yeah, I want to be the one to do it. I'd rather take the risk. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather take the risk of the additional pain on us, just so I can inflict hell on.
This reminds me of Chelsea.
What if this Arsenal team, this worst Arsenal team we've seen in a while, actually go and beat this United team in a Europa League final?
Look,
that would be bad.
Mike Dean gave us a penalty against you guys and also didn't take off Gabriel against you guys. Like, we have serious juju over you guys. Mike Dean is giving us penalties against you. You don't want to play us in a final. We will get a dodgy pen. I'm telling you.
What will happen is what happened against Chelsea last. We beat Chelsea so much before that FA Cup semi-final, and then the FA Cup semi-final, it was like a Chelsea. And I think if it was a one-off cup game in that regard, I think Man United would shine through. I do, but like I say, I wouldn't write Villarreal off. I definitely wouldn't go into this as confident as Chelsea fans were ahead of the Europa League final a couple of years ago. I would respect Arsenal for the fact that Arteta has beaten Ollie on a number of occasions. However, I want to take that risk so that I can be the one to inflict
So annoying.
hell.
No, listen.
You know what I want? I want
it's for
to
me.
Ragnarok's coming. Ragnarok.
No, it's for me. For me, Arsenal, if they go out tomorrow, their pain is already inflicted and it's already enough. You know what I mean? Like going out to Emery. Oh, hey, that's enough pain for me. I want to secure the thing, bro. I want to secure the team, fam.
You guys are looking at it in a weird way.
You guys are talking about the only conclusion will be you winning.
No. But I haven't said that because I'm willing to take the pain. KJ is cashing out. KJ is like, I'll cash out my bet now and have Arsenal lead. Where I'm like, no, I'm going to the final whistle and I'm holding on. I could lose big.
Terry, you know what it is? I've had my fun with Arsenal this season with the whole their back thing and that. I've had my fun. I now don't care about them like that no more. You know what I mean? I've had my fun.
Imagine we win and we go to the Super Cup and we're facing Man City in the Super Cup and Arteta beats Man City in the Super Cup. And then you guys imagine you guys made fun of us for the Community Shield. When we start walking around with the Europa League and the community and the Super Cup, you're gonna be like, "Yo, that's a preseason trophy."
Yeah. Well, do you know what I'd say? My reason for wanting to put you through more hell is when we were doing watch-alongs on the terrace at the beginning of the season, I had to sit there for 90 minutes with a gal gloating at me, and I want vengeance. I do. I do believe I'm not a religious man, and I do believe that vengeance is a very healthy remedy for life. It does make you feel better. Don't listen to people say it doesn't. It always makes you feel better. For a short period of time, but it does. It's temporary remedy. I'm only joking. Vengeance is bad. Other than in movies, it makes for a good film. Shadman here says Villarreal is a safer bet, Terry. Don't forget Unai Emery runs. No, listen. You're taking
right.
Forget like managerial ability, quality of squad, history. I'm just saying Man United against Arsenal has been a horrible fixture in the last couple of years for Ollie. That's why I think Villarreal are a slightly safer bet. That's it in the cold light of day. But equally, like I said, both can beat us. I'm not writing either team off, but I'm just going with what I want because I want to inflict pain. I want to inflict pain.
What's the most common scoreline, Terry, in football, right? Is it? Would you say 1-0, 1-1, or 2-1?
2-1.
No, I'm going to say
with Arsenal, it's usually a 1-0 home defeat.
I would say 2-1, maybe 2-1 or 1.
Okay, so if we get 2-1 and it goes to penalties, do you expect Arsenal to win on pen?
I don't know. What I want to do though. I want to do. This is what I want Man United. If we beat you in the final, right? We've got to do it. We wouldn't normally do a parade.
You want this so bad.
Terry, I've seen that face on guys before. I know that.
We do a parade, right? We do a parade. But do you know who's front and center at the front of the bus holding the trophy? Gunner fucking Saurus. That's what we do. We troll the fucking shit. That's what I would do. Have your mascot on our parade holding the trophy.
Yo, Terry wants
You're that rattled over a watch along. How bad was it?
You're Jess. Do you not know who Egal is? You know who Egal is. You know what it's like. Of course, Terry got like this over a watch along.
But Egal is like on my side, so I don't feel that.
Exactly. Now, imagine if he wasn't. Oh, listen, it's Pete.
If we were to win the final against you, I would have bet my bottom dollar on me being respectful, but having heard Terry's words this evening and the hate in his eyes and which almost looks like greed. It's not a nice side of you, Terry. I'm going to confirm if we do win, I'm going to come on here and give it so much you won't.
Let's go.
If we got to the final and lost to Man United, you guys won't see me for a very long time. I like you guys so much, but I can't stand Manchester United at all.
If we win the Europa League, I'll dedicate 5 days of just celebrating like it was the Champions League final.
You always talk about winning. I'm always thinking about how it's going to feel if we lose. Like, you know, you're so different. Like, you're the eternal optimist, Egal. I love you for that because if we lose tomorrow, like, I'm done. I'm finished.
Yes, but you got to remember. See, Egal lives in cloud cuckoo land, right? When it comes to football, so he's always happy. Like I said before with Egal, Egal's the only person on planet Earth. If he pooed himself, he'd say, "Yeah, at least I'm not constipated." Like he always looks that bright side in when it comes to football. It really is. A few people saying, Terry, why would you have a parade for Europa League? Not if we beat Villarreal, only if it was Arsenal, and then I would have Gunnosaurus as the mascot. If we beat anyone else in the final, I don't want to parade. It's just for the Arsenal thing to wind them up. It's a joke, by the way. It's not real. It isn't real.
But Egal's 5-day celebration is real, by the way. Let people know that he will have 5 days of dedication.
If Chelsea, I seen a Chelsea fan tweet out, if Arsenal lose the Europa League, it's greater than if Chelsea were to win the Champions League. So there's Arsenal hate is real. It's actually real. Like,
it is. It is.
But
then I might have my tinfoil hat on, but yeah.
Arsenal, I hate it's real. It's real. Like, look, Liverpool and Man City are like biggest rivals for Manchester United. But for me personally, like my adolescence, growing up, learning and falling in love with football, Arsenal were our biggest on the field adversary. So that for me still remains deep and it's potent and it's powerful and it's there.
Too.
And plus, Henry has destroyed us too many times for me not to hate Arsenal, bro. Like the way that my man used to flick up the ball and volley it on the turn. Nah, bro. No.
You know that pep dance? You know when he's doing his hands? You want me? I'll do a video like that. I'll recreate that if we beat you guys in the final. I bet you.
I think what we're gonna have to. I'm gonna be talking about it in a meeting tomorrow. I think we've got to get a location book and do something on location. I found a place as well, actually, wicked, that would be so good for this sort of stuff. But I'm just going to have to ensure that I've got cuffs on, because if we lose and people start gloating at me, I don't know. A year in lockdown, animalistic urges coming out.
I didn't even say nothing. I just said, Terry, what do you think about the game?
You were smiling. Do you know what it is? It must be a London thing. I was annoyed and you were looking at me. That's it. If you look at a Londoner when he's annoyed, what are you looking at, bruv? Like, it's one of them. I had to explain that to my son once. Like, you don't stare at people in London. He's like, why? I said, it gets you hurt. Like, what do you mean? You don't look at no one, ever. He looks at me like I was a weird. I said, trust me, don't look at a soul. It's true. Nico says, do you lot remember what happened the last time Arsenal were in a final against an English club? European giants will never be a way to describe Arsenal.
So funny, Nico. That's so funny.
One thing World Cup team.
Question for Arsenal, right? Question for Arsenal fans on this. Obviously, Liverpool, biggest European success story in England, followed by Man United. They've got some older heads, the sort of Nottingham Forests, Villas, etc. Chelsea, a few Europas,
potentially Man City.
and a Champions League, potentially Man City winning one this year. Because you've never won a major European trophy, would winning this represent like do you feel like this would be genuine history, or is it looked at as it's just like a European League Cup? How do you think the Arsenal masses would take winning this trophy? Harry?
Yeah,
I think the prize is bigger because it's Champions League football. I mean, it would obviously be a great moment for us because it's our first European trophy in a long time. I think we won the Cup Winners' Cup in 1994, right? But yeah, I mean, for me, it would just be a faster route to success, which is hopefully Champions League football and signing better players. But I don't think it's got that. It hasn't got that integrity, has that competition, doesn't have that feeling that the Champions League has, obviously. So it would be good for us, but mainly because of Champions League football.
Yeah. How about yourself, Jess? What would it mean to you as a Gooner to reach the pinnacle and win a major European trophy?
I mean, I think it would be. I think after the dust settled, it would feel like a big accomplishment for Arsenal, a European trophy, and that. But for me, it would just be kind of like, we kind of salvaged the season. It's been very, very difficult. So I think initially it would just feel like, thank God, because that would mean that we beat you guys and I wouldn't have to deal with that. But ultimately, I think having that European trophy would really help with all the banter and just like the talk of us never being a European power. But it's still not enough. We would still need to win the Champions League for me to really feel like we've done it, and if we get into the Champions League next season, God help us, because we're not making it out of the group.
It's huge for Arteta, right?
At least you guys,
huge.
At least you guys, if you go Champions League, could finish third and then win the Europa League again.
The one advantage you get, do you not? If you win the Europa League,
we're in the first part.
Yeah, yes. You're seeded, so that will help that you're seeded.
Yeah, you're Terry, but that's like Shakhtar being seeded. It still don't change the result where they come from. You know what I'm
You
saying?
make it seem like we're gonna go in with the same team. Actually, disrespectful in my opinion.
Just quickly,
But
I'd be as happy for
Okay,
Arsenal.
Egal.
I'd be as happy for Arsenal as I would for Arteta. I would be over the moon.
No,
for
but
Arteta.
you know what's gonna
no,
happen,
Egal.
Harry? It's gonna get belittled. No one's gonna talk about the fact that we won the Europa League. They're gonna say, "Yo, we won another Mickey Mouse trophy." I guarantee you, people are gonna make it into a joke.
But Egal, you're saying disrespect, but you disrespect Spurs on a daily basis. You know what I mean? And you don't get upset.
What
when
have they
people like,
accomplished? You deserve it.
Yeah, right.
what are you accomplishing right now, bruv? You might
We
now
actually put trophies on the table. Look,
Get real.
I got a bigger take than even the Europa League. Bring it back to the Champions League for a second. If Manchester City win the Champions League, they're a bigger club than Chelsea. Chelsea keep talking about Arsenal, catching up to Arsenal. Manchester City win the Europa League. They have more league titles and they have the same amount of Champions Leagues as Chelsea. So, in my opinion, Manchester City have now overtaken Chelsea if they win the Champions League. So stop talking about us catching up to us. You're not going to catch up to us, especially if we win the Europa League. That's another trophy on the cabinet, and you're not going to catch up to us anytime soon.
That is
like
a
Egal Hancock. Man, like
That's-
Egal
No, that is
Hancock,
actual
deflection.
facts. They have more
Deflection
titles.
tactics.
They have
I
the same
love
amount
it.
of
I
Champions
love
League.
it.
That is a factual statement right there. That's not a debatable question for me.
What about like FA Cups or League? I don't
No.
know the
You
facts,
guys are
but I don't know
talking
about like
about-
the FA Cups and League Cups.
My
and that.
point is, they talk about the fact that they have one Champions League, that they're a bigger club than Arsenal. My point is, we have more total trophies than them. If they ever want to catch us, they need to get more league titles than us. Then they'll catch up to us. If Manchester City have more league titles than them, and they have a Champions League, in my opinion, they've caught up to them and they have surpassed them.
I suppose based on the logic, if Chelsea fans, I've never heard a Chelsea fan say that, but if Chelsea fan says we're bigger than Arsenal because we've got one European Cup, but not as many league titles, if Man City have the same amount of European Cups and more league titles, if they're disregarding all your FA Cups and things like that, then look, you're making a fair point. Chelsea fans can phone up. We have shared the link if you want to call in and have your say. Egal, let me ask you this question, bro.
Yeah.
How confident would you be of beating Man United in the final?
I'll be quite confident.
I'll do a little bet then, right? Because I know it won't be financial based. I don't know what the bet's got to be. If you've got to think of an option, something for me if I win. But if Arsenal beat us, you can run the football terrace for a day.
Oh man, I don't know.
Rose, be front and center. Your
Make sure you
agenda.
get all the super chats again. Make sure you get all the super chats. Otherwise, Terry's got a day off for free. Essentially, he's just got a day off. So really,
that should be the punishment.
We see through you. We know what
we'll do that. You can run it. It can be your agenda. You can do your thing. Have a think about what you'd offer back in return. And we'll do the bet if you get through tomorrow night. By the way, like there's no point doing it now.
Yeah.
Well, I'll think of it.
We Arsenal fans have to concede that United have one unique achievement. We don't have relegation. Oh, look at that. It's true. That is very, very true. But again, would you swap it for a treble? Chelsea have, because I don't think about the relegation because I weren't born. It don't matter to me. Chelsea have won the European Cups before Roman. We will win this Champions League. In the other regard, though, can you imagine Gooners if Chelsea pick up their second Champions League? I mean, that's, you know, you're 150 years old. You've got none, right? Based on that logic, for you to catch Chelsea, it's going to be another 150, 200 years.
Even the second Champions League, it's gonna be a long time for us to get to because we haven't got one yet. So I get that, but my point is, if you're gonna talk about us being you guys catching us based on one Champions League, if Man City win it, you still have a hard case to tell me why you guys are a bigger club than Man City at this point.
Well, we've got a Chelsea fan who's coming on now to have his say about this. He looks angry. He looks smiley. It's man like Tory David Cameron in the house. What you saying, David?
Oh my goodness.
God, Tory David Cameron. That's sticking now. Yeah, Egal, you're waffling as normal. Like, win a European trophy first, then we can talk. I understand you want to be like, "Ooh, Man City are bigger than us." If Man City win the Champions League, no Chelsea fan's going to sit here and be like, "Well, you know what? They were in the third division 20 years ago. It doesn't matter to us." We'll be like, fair enough, they've won a Champions League because that's an actual achievement. Like, come on, sort yourself out. You say we're history, but you haven't won the biggest trophy. Cool. I'd happily have no history and win the biggest trophy.
very
Okay,
confident.
so you have just conceded that Manchester City, if they win the Champions League, verbatim on the air, on the football terrace, you've conceded that they are a bigger club than Chelsea if you win the Champions League.
No, that's not what I said.
Egal.
First of all, how many league titles do Man City actually have?
I think they have
4.
one more than you after
They
this
have.
season.
They have no. So if they were to win
They're
this
gonna have
one,
5.
we
They're
would
gonna have
both be on 5. We would both be on 5. Therefore, they would not be.
No,
bigger
they
than
have
us.
a league title before before the Premier League. They have one league title.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
do we. So do we. So shut up. Well done. Learn your history. Twist the history. Learn your history.
After today,
Learn your history. Learn your
I'm pretty
history.
sure
Well done.
after this
Well done.
year, I'm pretty sure after this year they would have one more league title than you.
Right. So hang on, guys.
If they have it, fair enough.
Guys, let's fact check this. All right. Right now, honors. Chelsea have 6 league titles in the history of their clubs. So we're talking league titles here in total. Man City, let me go and get this now. I'm going to get this fact out here, and then we'll see. So
I think City have 6. You know, I think they have 2 before it.
So City have 6. So this season they'll go on to 7. So they'll be yes. So you're right. City by the end of this season have more league titles and shit. That's a madness when you think about that. Really,
Yeah, don't bring it to me.
That is mad. That
Know
is
your
mad.
history, David. Know your history.
I don't really
You guys
look
are
into
so
other
funny.
clubs' history. I look at how they're doing right now and say, fair enough, they're really
Yeah,
good.
you know why Egal
Like-
knows that, because he's looking for so much dirt on other teams because he knows his teams in the mud.
Yeah.
So he needs to fling some dirt somewhere else, bro. That's what it is.
No, but man
I mean-
came on here trying to defend
No.
Chelsea.
Do
He actually
you know what? Do
conceded.
you know what?
You didn't
Right.
concede nothing.
If Man City were in theory to win the Champions League this year, I would still argue
They're
that
in a final.
No. I'm saying they still have to win it though. There is still a game in the way that they have to win. Like if they were to win it, I'd still say we're bigger than them for many other reasons. You actually don't have a Champions League. It literally then it's like it's one league title, but they have other things that they exactly don't have. Like they don't actually have like a massive fan base. Like
Tell me something I don't
you have
know.
a big fan base, yeah, but you ain't won no trophy. Like, come on, no trophy at all.
Guys,
It
this is
doesn't
his
exist in your
defense. This
cabinet.
is his. He
Doesn't
came
exist-
on. He
doesn't
came on
exist
to
in your
defend Chelsea
cabinet.
by saying you don't have a
It-
Champions League. What defense is that?
What do you mean? We have a Champions League. We've won the Champions League. We've won it.
Game done.
How
There's
is
no-
it done?
argument.
How you
There's no
haven't won
argument.
the Champions
There's
League,
no argument.
and you're saying being like all game
I
blood.
like-
Like, what have you
Again,
won?
this
no
is how
argument.
he won. That was brilliant.
You're about to say Egal's moving like
take the
Alex.
L, bro.
Egal's
Just take the
moving like
L.
Alex.
How am I
Egal's
taking
moving
the
like
L?
Alex, bro.
How?
Yo, Terry,
I'm
sub him
so
off. There's like 7 more Chelsea fans waiting, right?
Listen,
confused. He's
we're bringing Prime in now. Prime's here, another Chelsea fan. What you saying, Prime?
How have you guys? You know what? Egal, I love you. How have you allowed Egal to spin things in a way where it's supposed to be focused about Arsenal and Man United because you guys are playing Europa League tomorrow? United are through, so you guys can talk about the final. Arsenal are not even technically through yet, and yet you guys are talking about we'll beat United in the final. And Egal always does this. Whenever it's referenced about Arsenal or Chelsea, he always spins it and says, well, if Man City win the Champions League, they're bigger than us. Fine, doesn't matter. But you can't come here and say Arsenal. You can't come here and say can I finish? You can't come here and say Arsenal are a big club when you haven't won the holy grail of club football. You haven't won a Champions League. You haven't even won. You guys have been in the Europa League for 4 years now, and you can't even win that. You can't talk about being a big club. Man City, I don't really even care. So if they win the Champions League and you wanted to say they're a big club, fine, they're a big club. So by your logic,
You
then,
can win the
Man City
Champions League
and
one
Chelsea,
time
Man
and not
City,
be a
Man,
big club.
Jess, with all due respect, you haven't won a Champions League.
Even if you win it one time, that doesn't mean you're a big club.
Jess, with all due
Why are you
respect, you're
calling
not
her
in the
Jess,
Champions League.
bro?
Don't speak about something you don't understand. With
Okay.
if Man City win the Champions League, then Chelsea and Man City are both bigger than Arsenal. They're both bigger. And the thing is, if you yes.
No.
At least within my lifetime, anyway. I can only talk about things within my lifetime, and yes.
So that makes
Yes.
it fact because it lives in your mind. It's facts.
No, within
Okay.
within my lifetime, it makes it, yeah.
If you
Within my
win the
lifetime.
Champions League one time, that doesn't mean you're way bigger club than Arsenal. That would mean that there's a lot of clubs that are bigger than Arsenal that aren't.
Well, no, it's not just about winning the Champions League. It's about things. It's about being competitive in what we've done, what we've achieved. It's about our fan base. It's about being recognized as an actual big club. You guys got into the Super League. You guys got into the Super League because You guys
don't
got
rate
into
us.
the
You
you
don't
guys
rate
got
us.
into the super. You guys got into the. Can I finish? Thank you. You guys got into the Super League because your owners wanted you in there.
Actually,
You guys are
I
always
think
you guys are
I'm on the
always
big
fighting
screen
about your
now, so
owners.
I think it's my
Let me.
turn.
Can I?
Let you speak. You made your point.
guys-
You Jess sitting back here. Jess sitting back. Yeah, say your piece, please, Jess.
All I'm saying is if you win at one time, that doesn't mean you're necessarily a really big club. You know, that would mean a lot of clubs are bigger than Arsenal, and they're not. We may not have won that particular competition, but we've won a lot of them. Of course, it's the biggest one, but we won a lot of competitions. We're clearly not on pace right now. I know that that's like, okay, let's pile on Arsenal. That's fine, but we've only been outside of the top 6 for the last 2 years. That's really not like we're down in the dumps. Like, you know, we're just not good right now, you know, so to just erase all of our history and act like right now is the only thing that matters is kind of silly, you know, so, but that's how you guys live. You guys live right
You
now.
know why
I
this
understand
started,
that.
Jess, you know why this started? Because
I haven't erased your
Cups,
history.
they discredit League Cups, they discredit Cup Winners'
FA
Cups,
Cups, yeah.
even though they claim a Cup Winners' Cup as one of their 6 European trophies, they discredit it from other clubs. When you discredit all these trophies, you catch yourself in a hole because you're saying you're going to discredit all these trophies for us. But if I discredit those trophies and I look at Man City and Chelsea combined, discrediting everything you're discrediting for Arsenal, Man City have more trophies than you. We have more trophies than you. Liverpool have more trophies
have I discredited?
Manchester United have more trophies than
I mean, if
as long as
Chelsea
you're
win the
gonna do
FA
that-
Cup, I don't want to hear anything because you guys acted
Facts.
like it was a small trophy when we won it. So if you beat Manchester
trophies
City
have-
and
which-
win the FA
which
Cup, I
trophies
don't
have been
want to see you
discredited?
guys celebrate at all. I
We
don't.
didn't laugh at that. We laughed at the fact that you felt it was a better season simply because you won the FA Cup than Chelsea finishing in the top 4.
Who said that?
Egal,
said
your
that.
friend
Egal
down
said
there.
that, to
Your
be
friend
fair.
DT
down
said
there.
that.
Your
I didn't
friend-
say that. DT said
Yeah,
that.
you did.
No,
Yes,
you know you
didn't.
did.
Nah,
didn't.
Egal.
You did.
I never
No.
said that.
No.
I said, to be fair, I said it was a better season than finishing 5th.
No. You said you had a better. You said Arsenal had a better season than Chelsea and Man United because we got trophies, because we got silverware. That is what you said, and you said this season you would take finishing 8th again, winning Europa League, than actually progressing into the top 4. You said that.
No, I did not say that. You're mixing up my words. First things first. DT said that. Second of all, I said finishing 8th and not getting into Europe, or finishing 10th and winning the Europa League. I would rather take 2 league positions lower and still win the Europa League because it means
that's fair. But last season, and I know that DT may have said it, but you came on there and pushed his point as I agree with it. So that's you saying it as well, bro. Like, you're endorsing that message. You said that, in your opinion, coming wherever you finished last year winning a trophy was better than anybody else in the league who didn't win a trophy. So it was better than coming 2nd or 3rd without a trophy. That is, you literally came on the show and said it, mate. Like, maybe not verbatim word for word like that, but you definitely suggested it. But I'm not going to put Jess or Harry in that category with you, because
No, I definitely didn't say that.
That was
stands. 2 Chelsea fans came on here and they couldn't defend their point. So,
oh, I told you.
did
Look
defend
at
their
him.
point. Oh,
Wait. No. I'm not gonna look at him. Egal Hancock, deflection tactics. Whenever he gets onto him and Arsenal, man does a whoop. Here's something else to talk about. Everyone, watch out for it. Egal is a politician. He deflects.
And he's very, very good at it. Listen, everyone who's tuned in this afternoon, thank you. Remember the news we started with. Mikel Arteta's job is reportedly on the line tomorrow night with newspaper reports coming out of Italy that Maurizio Sarri has had conversations with Arsenal about potentially taking over in the summer. We're back later tonight after the big one, Real Madrid versus Chelsea. So make sure you're right here tonight on the Football Terrace for that. There is a super chat here that says Egal caught in 4K. He was caught in 4K. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. Thank you very much, Chris Ross. I thought it was a good show tonight. The last couple of nights have been really powerful on the channel, which is good as well. Nice, strong opinion. Someone actually messaged me yesterday. I like the Football Terrace, but you always have drama on there every night. And I was like, I never look at it as like drama. No one's fighting. No one's kicking. It's just fun football talk for me. But there we go. Listen, we're back later tonight. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Turn on the bell notifications as well so you never miss another live stream. It's right next to the subscribe button. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless.